the forearm in mid-position. Yeah, go ahead and read that just so I'm doing it as the book says.
The patient is sitting, the forearm is resting on a table, the elbow is flexed, the wrist is slightly extended, and the MCP joint of the finger being measured is in 0 degree of extension. The therapist stabilizes the metacarpal. The axis is placed on the posterior aspect of the MCP joint being measured. The stationary arm is parallel to the longitudinal axis of the shaft of the metacarpal. The movable arm is parallel to the longitudinal axis of the proximal phalange.
Okay, phalanges. So what it's saying is my goniometer should be like this. Okay, this is a different goniometer too. Let me show you this. This is called a finger goniometer. And with this, it has numbers on the inside as well as the outside. We're going to be using the numbers on the inside as we take this measure. If I were to put this over the MCP and do it that way, you see it's going to dig into her, and so I don't want to do that. I'm going to just flip it around so that the axis is over the MCP. I have my movable arm here, and then my stationary arm. I know it's just the opposite of what I've always said, but this way I'm not going to hurt my patient.
So the stationary arm follows the finger.
Yeah, see how I have this?
Yes.
Yeah, because this is stationary, this is what's moving. So I'm just flipping it around just so that I don't hurt my patient. Okay.
And from our standpoint, as she puts that on there, she's anchoring with her thumb. She's anchoring the short end to my hand, out the backside of my hand.
Good point. And I'm also stabilizing, because what I said earlier was we're stabilizing just proximal. So I'm stabilizing, I'm trying to rule out her thumb as well, but I'm also stabilizing the wrist as I do that. I guess I'm doing that all under here. So I'm stabilizing the joint just proximal to it. Does that make sense? Okay, and so it's as easy as this. I'm just going to flex the MCP to the limit of motion. I don't want it to rise up like that. I want to keep the axis over the axis. So I'm pushing that to the limit of motion. Okay, and then there's my measure. All of these we're going to do passively. When we get to the fingers here, we're going to do all of these passive. Okay? So that would be MCP flexion, but that's the second digit. I have to do all of the digits, right? Because I'm taking a measure of all of them.
So there's no point in doing a active range of motion card, just passive.
Just, yeah, and actually I think mine says demonstrate how you'd assess range of motion for, and so you just do a passive. You just push it to that limit.
There's no reason why you would ever, why would you not do active on this? You really would, but for what we're doing, passive will be sufficient for us.
You're going to give a specific digit?
All. If you have to do MCP, you're going to do them all.